Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most iconic U.S. coins, the Monticello Jefferson Nicholas Quarter Dollar. We'll explore the top 5 most valuable coins in this series, discuss their different mint marks, conditions, and take a look at the current market values. If you're a collector or someone interested in the fascinating world of coins, you're in the right place. Let's get started. First up, the 1989 Monticello Quarter Dollar, featuring the portrait of President Thomas Jefferson, along with its unique D mint mark. This specific coin has captivated collectors, and it might just be worth more than you think. So, if you have one tucked away in your collection or in your pocket change, keep watching because today we're exploring its history, condition, and value in today's market. The Monticello Quarter Dollar, part of the United States Mint's 50-state quarters program, has a rich history. But this specific coin, the 1989 issue, pays tribute to one of the founding fathers of the United States, President Thomas Jefferson. It was minted as part of the 200th anniversary of Jefferson's birth, and it represents more than just a simple coin. It's a piece of American history. Despite its reputation for a grumbling audacious of a job for a young principal of a university, on the obverse we see a detailed portrait of Jefferson, designed by artist John Reich, along with the familiar inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." On the reverse we find Monticello, Jefferson's iconic home in Virginia, which serves as a powerful symbol of his legacy as a statesman and architect. Now let's talk about the mint mark. The 1989 quarter was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but today we're focusing on the 1989 Monticello D mint mark, which was produced in Denver. This mint mark indicates that the coin was struck in the Denver Mint, a facility known for producing some of the highest quality coins in the U.S. collection. Before we talk about the value of your 1989 Monticello quarter, let's first take a look at what we mean by fine condition. In coin grading, fine refers to a coin that shows some wear but still retains its main features. For example, the details on the coin may be softened but still visible. The Monticello quarter in fine condition will have some light wear on Jefferson's portrait and the Monticello building, but it should have significant scratches or discoloration. Understanding coin grades is crucial for determining a coin's value. A fine condition coin is not in pristine shape, but it still has appeal to collectors due to its historical significance. The market value of a 1989 D Monticello quarter in fine condition. If you're expecting a huge windfall, you may be a little surprised. The 1989 D quarter, while historic, is one of the most valuable in the series. In fact, in fine condition, you can expect to see it valued anywhere from $705,000, depending on where you sell it. However, if your coin is in pristine, uncirculated condition or has been graded by a professional grading service like the PCGs or NGC, some uncirculated examples can fetch between $20,000 and $100,000. And if you're lucky enough to find a rare error or variety, the value could rise even higher. Graded coins are generally more valuable because collectors pay a premium for coins in excellent condition. The same coin, if graded as MS65, can potentially be worth $2,100,000 or more. So if you have a 1989 D Monticello quarter in fine condition, it will be worth a fortune, but it certainly holds some historical and numismatic value. Whether you choose to hold on to it as part of your collection or sell it, it's always exciting to see how these coins are valued by collectors around the world. Next up, we're diving deep into a truly fascinating coin, the 1998 Jefferson Nickel, specifically the one with the P mint mark in extra fine condition. You might be surprised at what this coin could be worth today. Let's explore its history. The Jefferson Nickel, first issued in 1938, is one of the most beloved and recognizable coins in U.S. history. It features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and an image of Monticello, Jefferson's iconic home, on the reverse. But today we're focusing on a specific year, the 1998 Jefferson Nickel, with the P mint mark and in extra fine condition. As you can see, the reverse of the coin showcases Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia plantation. This landmark has appeared on the nickel since 1938 and remains one of the most enduring symbols in U.S. coinage. The 1998 version, like many others, was minted in Philadelphia, denoted by the P mint mark on the reverse side of the coins. Now, what makes the 1998 P mint mark nickels special, you ask? Well, for starters, The P mint mark represents coins that were minted in Philadelphia. Unlike coins from other mints like Denver or San Francisco, the Philadelphia Mint was the primary facility for producing nickels during the late 90s. The condition of a coin plays a major role in its value. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to perfect mint state. An extra fine coin, or XF, is one that has been well preserved but shows some minor wear, typically visible on the highest points of the design, such as Jefferson's hair and Monticello's columns. This is what an extra fine coin looks like. It's in great condition and still retains most of its details, with only slight wear on the surfaces. But how does this impact the coin's market value? Let's talk about the current market value. In general, the 1998 P. Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition does carry a huge premium over face value. You can usually find one being sold for between $10,000 and $1,000 in this condition. However, the value can vary depending on the specific coin's features, like its overall luster and any unique characteristics that may be present. But here's the twist. Some coins, especially those that are well preserved or have been graded by a professional service, can fetch a higher price at auction or among collectors. If you're lucky enough to have a 1998 P. Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition that stands out, you could see it sell for $1,500 to $2,000 or more if it has exceptional qualities or rare variations. To truly understand the value, consider getting your coin professionally graded. Companies like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation or Professional Coin Grading Service can grade your 1998 P. Jefferson nickel and give it a certification, which can significantly increase its value. Coins in grades such as MS63 or MS64, which indicate a near uncirculated condition, can see values well beyond their face value, sometimes reaching $1,600 to $1,000 depending on demand. It's important to keep in mind that the true value of any coin is often determined by the current collector demand. Coins from the late 90s, like the 1998 P. Jefferson nickel, aren't as sought after as older or rarer issues, but that doesn't mean they don't have potential for value in the right market. If you're thinking about selling your coins, it's always a good idea to research current listings and auction results. In conclusion, while the 1998 P. Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition may be worth a fortune, it is still a valuable piece for collectors who enjoy historical U.S. coins. And for those of you looking to add a unique piece to your collection or make a smart investment, it's always worth keeping an eye out for those exceptional coins that stand out from the crowd. Next up, the 1972 Monticello Jefferson nickel, specifically the one without a mint mark. If you have one of these in your collection, you might be sitting on a potential treasure. Stick around as we explore its history, what makes it unique, and the current market value. Now, we all know Thomas Jefferson's image has been featured on the nickel for over a century, but today we're going to focus on a particular year and variety that collectors are really eyeing: the 1972 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, in very fine condition. This coin might seem ordinary to the untrained eye, but let's break it down and see why it could be worth much more than its face value. First, let's take a look at the obverse. The 1972 Jefferson nickel features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. The design was created by Felix Schlag, and it's been part of the coin since 1938. You'll notice the date 1972 and the word Liberty around Jefferson's portrait. On the reverse side, we have the iconic image of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, which is a tribute to his legacy as a statesman and architect. Above Monticello, you'll find E pluribus unum, and at the bottom, the coin's denomination. Now, the important thing to note about this coin is the absence of a mint mark. Coins produced in 1972 without a mint mark were struck at the Philadelphia Mint. This is significant because it's a bit of a rarity. Most people are used to seeing mint marks D for Denver or S for San Francisco, but the lack of a mint mark on these nickels gives them a distinctive touch. Next, let's talk about the coin's condition. This one's graded as very fine, which means it shows moderate wear, but all the design details are still visible. The coin might have some light scratches and wear on Jefferson's portrait and the Monticello design, but you can still make out the important features clearly. Now, here's where the excitement really begins: the value of this 1972 Jefferson nickel in very fine condition. As of today, the market value for a coin like this can vary depending on factors like demand and its specific condition. On average, you might see this coin priced anywhere from $1,100,000, but It could go higher in specific cases, especially if you find one that's in top-tier condition. For reference, in very fine condition, you're generally looking at a price range around $1,300,000. However, if the coin is in extra fine or uncirculated condition, its value could jump to $1,500,000 or more. In fact, collectors pay a premium for nickels from this era, especially those without a mint mark. If you're thinking of selling, you'll want to get it appraised, especially if you're unsure about its condition. Coins in uncirculated or near mint condition can fetch anywhere from $800,000 at auction, depending on the buyer. For a very fine coin, the value could be a little lower, but still respectable. Now, how do you know if you have a valuable 1972 Jefferson nickel? Well, the first step is always to check its condition. Remember, the grade scale goes from poor to mint state, and coins with higher grades are worth more. If you're not familiar with coin grading, it might be a good idea to get your nickel professionally graded to see where it stands. Another factor to consider is the demand for 1972 nickels. These coins have become a popular item among collectors, especially those who specialize in nickels from the 20th century. So if you have a 1972 Jefferson nickel in your collection, don't just throw it in a jar with your change. It could be worth much more than you think. Next up, the 1971 Monticello Jefferson quarter dollar with the D mint mark, particularly one in extra fine condition. We'll be discussing its significance, its features, the D mint mark, and most importantly, its current market value. If you're a collector, investor, or just someone who appreciates the beauty of coins, stay tuned because this one might surprise you. Before we focus on the 1971 quarter, let's take a step back and talk about the design of the Monticello Jefferson nickel, as it plays a crucial role in the coin's historical context. The Monticello design, originally created by Felix Schlag, features the famous Monticello mansion on the reverse side of the coin. Monticello was the home of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, who played a significant role in the country's founding and the drafting of the Declaration of Independence. Monticello was also home to the British Museum and College and its famous photograph of Byron. The design was first introduced in 1938 on the Jefferson nickel, and it became a symbol of American history and heritage. The 1971 coin in question, while a quarter, features the same Monticello reverse design as a tribute to Jefferson's legacy. Understanding the 1971 quarter dollar. In 1971, the U.S. Mint issued several quarter coins, but the Monticello reverse design specifically features an engraving of the Monticello building with a distinctive E Pluribus Unum motto and the date inscribed above. This quarter was minted as part of the regular series for that year, and the coin was made to represent the U.S. monetary system. It's important to note that the 1971 quarter, with its Monticello reverse, wasn't designed to be a commemorative piece. Rather, it was part of the general circulation series. You may have noticed that some coins have a mint mark. Mint marks are small letters on the coin that indicate where it was produced. In the case of the 1971 quarter, the D mint mark signifies that it was struck at the Denver Mint, which is one of the primary locations for coin production in the United States. Mint marks are crucial for collectors because they can add significant value to a coin. This is especially true for coins with rare or usual minting errors. The 1971 D mint mark isn't particularly rare, but the condition of the coin can drastically affect its market value. What does extra fine condition mean? Now, let's talk about condition. We say that this coin is in extra fine condition. It means that it's in remarkable shape for a coin of its age. The XF grade indicates that the coin has been well preserved with minimal wear and tear. You can expect to see all the major design details clearly visible, with only slight wear on the high points of the coin. The Monticello building on the reverse and the facial details of Jefferson on the obverse are still sharp and distinct. There's no significant damage, and the coin still retains much of its original luster. For a collector, this makes it a very desirable piece, as it's not as worn as coins in lower grades like very fine or good condition. For a 1971 D mint mark quarter in extra fine condition, you can expect a value in the range of $702,000. While this might seem like a huge amount compared to rarer coins, it's still a solid price for a coin that has been carefully preserved. 1971 D mint mark quarter dollar with the Monticello reverse in extra fine condition is a valuable piece for any coin collector. While it may be worth a small fortune, Its historical significance and excellent preservation make it a standout in a collection. If you come across one, keep in mind that its value can fluctuate depending on demand, scarcity, and condition. Whether you're a seasoned collector or new to the world of numismatics, this coin offers a perfect opportunity to own a piece of American history. If you have any 1971 D Mint Mark quarters in your collection, it might be worth taking a closer look at their condition to see if you have a hidden gem on your hands. Next up, the 1987 Monticello Jefferson nickel. Specifically, we'll be talking about the very fine condition of this coin with a D Mint mark and what it could be worth in today's market. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, you'll want to stick around for this one. Since this coin was discovered in 1987, Monticello is the greatest singer. First off, let's take a close look at the 1987 Jefferson nickel. This coin features the famous portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, which has been a staple of the nickel design since 1938. But what makes the 1987 nickel stand out? And why should collectors care about its value? On the obverse, we see Thomas Jefferson's portrait, created by artist Felix Schlag. It's paired with the words, "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," along with the year of minting, which in this case is 1987. But if you flip the coin over, you'll find something even more interesting. The reverse of the 1987 Jefferson nickel displays Monticello, the plantation home of Thomas Jefferson in Virginia. This building is an iconic symbol of American history, and its depiction on the coin has been around for more than 80 years. Now, the key detail we're focusing on today is the D Mint mark, which stands for the Denver Mint. This is where the coin was produced. The 1987 Jefferson nickel was minted at both the Denver and Philadelphia mints, but today we're specifically looking at the Denver minted version. You'll find the D Mint mark on the reverse side of the coin, to the right of Monticello. Important to note that while the mint mark itself doesn't necessarily increase the coin's value significantly. Now, let's talk about the condition. Probably heard that a coin's grade plays a huge role in its value, and that's definitely true for the 1987 Jefferson nickel. A coin in very fine condition, like the one we're looking at here, shows noticeable wear but still retains much of its original details. The features on Jefferson's portrait in Monticello are clear, but you'll see some light scratches and smoothing from circulation. Coins in very fine condition typically show wear on the highest points, but they still offer a clear and defined image. Here's a comparison between a coin in fine condition versus one in very fine condition. You can see that the very fine coin holds more detail, particularly around the lettering and images, making it more appealing to collectors. So, what's the 1987 Jefferson nickel worth today in the market? While this coin isn't considered a rare or highly valuable piece on its own, the condition and mint mark can make a difference. In general, the 1987 Jefferson nickel with a D Mint mark in very fine condition is worth about $1,300,000. It might not seem like a fortune, but hold on, the story changes if you have one in exceptional condition, or if it's part of a specific variety, like a proof coin, or a coin with an error. Very fine condition typically, sometimes a little more. In ungraded, uncirculated condition, it could push up to $1,500,000 or more depending on the specific market and demand at the time. But let's talk about how to really get the most out of your coins. If you have a very fine 1987 Jefferson nickel, you'll want to have it evaluated by a professional grader, especially if you suspect it's in higher than expected condition or has any unique characteristics. To wrap things up, while a 1987 Monticello Jefferson nickel in very fine condition, it's still a fantastic piece of history to add to your collection. If you're in the market for one of these, or if you've stumbled across one in your change, now you know what to look for. And who knows, maybe you'll find a rare variety or an undetected error that could boost the value. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest coin discoveries. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a 1987 Jefferson nickel, or if you have any other interesting coin stories to share. Until next time, happy hunting.